Hello everybody, it's David here. Just a quick, well, I always say my videos are a bit quick. Oh, I've got a microphone. Boom. It was probably way too loud. I'm not quite sure how close it needs to be, but I've had a few emails, and one was from a lovely lady called Christy, and she was asking me about health anxiety towards having a seizure. Now, I think she said that she noticed that on the No More Panic forum, that was quite a prominent, that was quite up there in terms of health anxieties. Again, it's something that I had kind of briefly, on and off. But having said that, I'm actually quite well versed in it, and I can give you the reason why I'm so well versed in it, and hopefully I can give you a little bit of reassurance. Again, as I always say in my videos, I'm not a doctor, but I do have some experience of health anxiety, 15 years or so. So hopefully I can give you some tips and some advice. You're always welcome to check the website out and drop me a message on here or on my website or through my Hotmail account as well. Seizures, right? Okay. Well, people think that they have seizures quite a lot. Now, I did. Now, I actually work with special needs young adults, and a vast proportion of these um, young adults have seizures, predominantly because of epilepsy. There are quite a lot of different types of seizure, and for all of you people who are scared of seizures, it's extremely unlikely that you would have developed seizures unless it was inherited, really, or before the age of 15. Having said that, there can be some. I'm just going through my notes actually. There can be some possible seizure triggers for people who are not epileptic. Stress, boredom, lack of sleep, menstruation, alcohol, raised temperature, behavioural, photosensitivity. Um, just going through my kind of nursing notes, um, are all quite sort of common triggers. Now, I know one girl at work who just keeled over because she was really hot. She fainted, and on very, very, very rare occasions can somebody have a seizure when they're not epileptic, to the best of my knowledge. I can bore you with the different types of seizure if it kind of makes you feel a little bit better. Having said that, I don't want to bombard you with information because then I don't want you to sort of go um, googling sort of these different types of seizures and then thinking that you have them. So I'm going to kind of brush over them in a kind of in a general kind of way, but there are some generalised seizures, five of which you get things like drawing from experience from my school. You get what's called an absence. Now I can say that I have absences all the time when somebody kind of stares and you kind of you kind of blink and you nod your head or you kind of lose awareness for a few minutes. I kind of do that, I think, on a regular basis, but I'm so scatty, so I can kind of laugh that off. I generally don't think that I am epileptic. There's myoclonic. I just did a course on this the other day, actually, a refresher course, so it's really quite handy. There's myoclonic, which is a sudden brief jerk, often on waking. Now you can see how that could be misinterpreted because sometimes we have a bad dream, and we sort of wake up with a start. Um, so again, that's a very very easy to kind of mix that up with a seizure. There's tonic seizures, which where your limbs stiffen, and oh gosh, you feel like you're falling. So there you go. Um, you know, do you feel like you're falling? It's about kind of putting things into perspective a little bit. There's atonic seizures where you suddenly drop and you're just gone. You just lose consciousness. You lose muscle tone, and you basically fall heavily to the floor. Now, the majority of people writing on No More Panic haven't said anything like that, so that's one out the window. And there's tonic clonic. What a strange term that is, but I see tonic clonic seizures on a very regular basis, and it's stiffening and falling and jerking out and crying. Um, Very laboured breathing, salivation, and also after people have seizures, they're generally completely wiped out, and you need to sleep. Um, some other triggers I see. Some of the young adults experience before their seizures are laughing or sudden drowsiness, feeling really giggly, just sudden behavioural changes. So the chances that you are having a seizure are very, very remote indeed, unless you have been medically diagnosed. Having said that, if you do ever believe that you have a seizure, they'll need to kind of assess you, and it'll take quite a few uh, seizures before they can diagnose epilepsy anyway. So I don't know if this is providing you some reassurance, but certainly from my perspective, I know that um, stress can make you shiver. It can make you kind of get really crazy and panicky, and you feel like something's kind of swooping over you. And I can completely understand how that's misdiagnosed for um, a seizure. There are very, very, very different things indeed. So hopefully I've provided you a little bit of reassurance. I've talked to you a little bit about the different types of seizure that one can have. I don't think, having read on the forum, that anybody on there has experienced anything along those lines. And as I say, unfortunately, I cannot video anything I see at work, because of child protection. But please take it from me, seizures, they're quite shocking if you see them firsthand. Once you get used to them, they're a very common occurrence, and people snap out of them. Generally, not too long. There's a rule, depending on the young adult, as to when you would administrate a medicine, which could be anything from 3 minutes into the seizure to 5, and that actually would be diazepam. There is another form as well. Of drug that can be administered, which is squirted into the cheeks. So I don't think many of you, hopefully, fingers crossed, have seizures or are epileptic. But if I find some resources to show you, again, as I say, I'm very mindful of not giving you too much information, because I know how easy it is to Google. Then I'll put it on my website, myhealthanxiety.com. Hopefully this hasn't been a bit too boring. I've been looking at my notes, and there's loads of stuff, and I could have talked about myths, and in the olden days they thought you were possessed if you had epilepsy, so they would put you in fire, and I don't know if you can see that, and open your head up and all sorts of different things, because they weren't very aware. Nowadays, we are a lot more advanced, and we really do know what we're doing with epilepsy and seizures. So try and take this video as some reassurance. I know it's very difficult, because I've actually delved into the types of seizure, and I'm very conscious as a health anxiety sufferer that you may listen to this back and say, oh crikey, I'm doing this or I'm doing that, because as I've said many times, it's very easy to replicate symptoms. A good piece of advice is definitely keep a journal, and that was something that Christy told me. So keep a journal. Write down when you feel like you're having some manic moments, and look back at times. I always look back at times when I wasn't stressed and feeling very happy, and I wasn't suffering any health anxiety, and things that I was able to do without any problems at all. And last summer I was cycling 12 miles a day. Only just now am I starting to recover and getting back into exercise. But I'm a musician, so I keep myself busy. But please, if you have any questions, I want this to be more reassuring rather than reaffirming in a way. So do drop me a message if you do have any queries or concerns. I am available on Skype. Please check out all the details on my website, myhealthanxiety.com. And if I can help, then I will. And we shall talk about another topic either later or tomorrow. Okay, take care. See you soon. Keep well.